my very first job in the music industry was when I was 14 years old, and I was a DJ, and I was DJing bar mitzvahs and birthday parties. That was my first job, really. I think I was DJing a kid's like 12th birthday, and I was like 14, and my mom drove me to the gig, and I had like all of my equipment in my mom's car, and like I unloaded it myself, and like she came back like 4 hours later and picked me up. It was a pool party. I used all of my home equipment, my Sony like speakers, like home theater stuff, and just like practiced in my room for 2 weeks, and got paid like $200 or $150 just to do this party. And that's when I got my first taste of making music in or knowing that music can make you money. I remember that I was trying to be super creative and mix like lots of different records from different genres together at different tempos, and it was super like experimental, and I was trying to be like this badass DJ who was probably mixing songs off beat, and didn't make sense, like 120 BPM records with like 90 BPM hip-hop records, and trying to make them work together somehow. And it probably sounded horrible, and I apologize to whomever's party that was. But I just remember having fun, and I just remember locking myself in my room from that point forward and telling myself like I just want to be better and bigger and better and bigger, and play music for people. I knew that I wanted to be in a position where I could deliver music to people. That's really, DJing defined that in me. I used to be a drummer in the Los Angeles Junior Philharmonic as a kid, and I knew that performing, being a performer probably wasn't going to be what I was going to do for the rest of my life, and I felt like DJing was a good kind of like medium out of being a musician necessarily, but moving more into kind of like playing other people's songs. But I always knew that I wanted to be responsible for delivering new music to people, and I think that I ultimately found A&R towards the end of college as I started to manage music producers and DJs and start to do their like in-house A&R. And once I graduated, I started interning at Atlantic Records. For my first official paid gig, I mean, I was making money as a manager, but the first major corporation to bring me on was Atlantic, and I was actually the Artist Publishing Group, my publishing company, for which Mike Karen worked at Atlantic at the time and hired me, and that was a major turning point in my career. But your question was the first thing, so the first thing was DJing at 14 years old.